A lot of games coming up. Shedeur Sanders in line to get the start Saturday against the Bills. Now, many people have Deshaun Watson in the driver's seat to be the Browns' Week 1 starter, but Todd Monken has not declared a winner to this competition yet, insisting that it is one. Geoff, do you look at this as Shedeur's last chance to win the starting job?
Yes, I've been clear about this from the beginning. I don't think he's gotten a fair chance. I don't think fair is a word we use in the NFL very often, and it's not really the way the league is constructed. But he's not gotten the fair chance. He's not gotten the same opportunity Deshaun Watson has. But there's also now 2 staffs that have coached him that have said, maybe you're not the starting quarterback for the Browns anymore. He's got to play well this weekend. It might not matter, Greg. It really might not. They might have already made their mind up, and they're doing this just to be fair. Okay, let's give him the opportunity. But even I think I saw yesterday, Deshaun Watson took the reps with the ones yesterday. So the Browns are playing Sanders, but he's not taking the reps all week with the ones. They
were saying they were rotating reps with the ones in the week leading up to this but Deshaun was going to get the reps with the ones in the main joint practice, and then Shedeur was going to get other reps. It's a weird competition.
I know that people don't like when I talk about the signs that the Browns are showing that they want one guy to start over the other, but they're very clearly showing signs they want Watson to start. He might not win the job because Sanders might play that much better than him, but they're trying to make Watson, or at least have him win the job, Greg. And look, 5th-round quarterbacks do not start very often in the NFL. I know that I thought he'd be drafted much higher. I'm sure you did. I don't know if you did or not, but he was a 5th-round pick. There's only 2 franchise quarterbacks right now in the NFL. Franchise guys, so really guys on second deals they're guys, or young guys that are playing as on the recontracts that are not dropped in the top 55. Dak Prescott and Brock Purdy, that's it. So even Sanders to get a full-time job would be an outlier in the NFL right now. And so I think this is it for him. He's got to prove this next couple of weeks he can be the guy who won't be starting in Cleveland.
Yeah, it's hard for me to believe that this is not his last chance. And the reason you kind of alluded to it, this is his second coaching staff. So there was a lot of people that kind of felt like, I don't know if Kevin Stefanski was giving him a fair shot. I don't know if he liked him. I don't know if he really wanted him even to be drafted. And so we had that last year, and he really didn't play. Then he had the opportunity to play, and we saw what that looks like. Now you have a new head coach in Todd Monken that we saw the interaction when he first got hired. Shedeur comes in the office. It was like, man, we tried to get you in Baltimore and all these things.
You didn't try that hard.
But
could have had him in the first 4 rounds.
Well, no, they valued him where they had him.
Yes.
Okay, so I was just saying they didn't try that hard.
But they valued him where they had him. And so for me, when you use another word, talked about it being fair. If Shedeur Sanders were clear head and shoulders better than Deshaun Watson, he would have the job.
Well, and he's getting passes deflected at the line of scrimmage and fumbling snaps.
It is that simple. This is no trying to knock on Shedeur Sanders. I wish him the best. I thought he was a lot better, and I thought he was going to get drafted a lot higher.
Same.
It didn't happen. I'm not a scout. I clearly didn't evaluate him the same way 32 other teams did. And with that being said, if he goes out there and he looks the way he did in that first preseason game, or what we've seen, where he is hesitant, where he is not decisive, where he is late, where he is not making those reads, understanding where he needs to go and actually putting the ball where it needs to be, because he said that, I know I made the right decision, I slipped, I just didn't get it. Well, you can't have that. In your position, fighting for a starting job, you can't not execute what you know you should do. So it has to look clean across the board.
I expect Deshaun Watson to be named the starting quarterback of the Browns on Monday. This is it, but it's more ceremonial because of what you alluded to with the practice snaps during the week. A lot of coaches, whether you agree with it or not, do seem to value the controlled environment of the joint scrimmages, the joint practices, more than the preseason game.
Yes.
And that's when Deshaun is getting the reps in the main practice tomorrow against the Bills. So Deshaun started the first preseason game. He's starting with the ones in the main practice against the Bills. He's better than Shedeur Sanders. Now, that doesn't mean that he's good. It just means that he's better than a 5th-round pick. I expect Shedeur to start at some point this year, and I expect the Browns to draft a new quarterback to be their quarterback next year going forward. And my guess is we'll talk about this occasionally throughout the year. But I don't think the long-term answer for the Browns at quarterback is either of these two guys.
Look, in practice, I'm sure Deshaun probably looks far better than Shedeur.
Yeah.
Because practice is so much different than the games. And so when you want things to be clean, especially when you're going in joint practices, you want to have a clean looking offense or defense. And so you're going to give your unit the best chance at doing that. You're going to put Deshaun Watson out there. He was the first round draft pick. I know he's not lived up to what we saw him be in Houston and what he was early in his career, but he understands how to play quarterback. We know he understands how to play quarterback. And when you have that mental edge, it's going to show, especially in practice. Now in games, different, but in practice, yeah, he's probably about it. He's light years ahead of Shedeur Sanders.
Well, the announcement will come soon. Let's go to the Raiders. First overall pick, Fernando Mendoza, got some reps with the ones at the joint practice yesterday. Should see a lot of action in tomorrow's preseason game against the Texans. He was very impressive, I thought, in the preseason opener against Arizona. Greg, do you think Fernando Mendoza will look good and impress again?
Absolutely. He just gives off the vibe of he's prepared. And what I mean by that is he's going to go into every game, whether he's the starter week 1, whether he's a starter in the preseason game, prepared, knowing what's expected from him and ready to execute that game plan. When you watched him in that first game, in those pass attempts, he was very decisive. He was comfortable in the pocket. I don't even want to say he was poised, but he didn't look rattled. He was going through his second and third reads. In preseason games with young quarterbacks, Jeff, you know this, you don't see them getting to second and third read often. He did it over and over and over again and was completing those in those second wins. Another thing, throwing the ball across the middle, you don't see a lot of that. And the way he threw the ball and letting his eyes take the defender one way and coming back and throwing behind the linebacker level guys, he did that on repeat. He just has a comfort about himself. His footwork is great. He believes that he should be a starting quarterback. There's a reason why the Raiders picked him number 1 overall. They saw what they saw. Now, will he be week 1 starter? That's a whole nother conversation, but I do expect him to be impressive in week 2.
That throw we keep showing, this one right here, the deep end, he didn't do that in college. That's not Indiana's offense.
No.
And that was
wasn't under center.
That was sort of the question that I think people had, can he make those NFL type throws? He made an NFL type throw right there.
Yeah.
And so he looked really good. I hope the Raiders name him the starter on Monday. I think he should be the starter week 1.
You think he should start over Cousins? I do too.
Absolutely.
Nobody seems to agree.
The people will push back and say, well, the Raiders' offensive line. Okay, well, if it's not good in week 1, what's going to matter week 4? Just play him. Play him now.
Am I crazy? I mean, Colton Miller, people like him at left tackle. Tyler Linderbaum's one of the best centers in the game.
There's some questions on the right side.
Jackson Powers-Johnson, they in
right
theory
tackle.
like it. Right tackle's
That's
a big question.
Yeah. The reason why I play Mendoza is because you need to end this year knowing he's your guy. I think we know he's the guy. But I think you want to see him play a full season. When the season's over, you evaluate what you have on film and how to build around him. And maybe you only need 8 games to do that, but I would play him for 17. Cousins is not part of your future. There's no reason to have him play, in my opinion. You have a new coach. You drafted Mendoza. Let Mendoza go through being a rookie, figuring things out, so you can figure out how to play better throughout the season. We'll help him in year 2.
I also think he has something going for him that a lot of number 1 picks do not have, which is he is aligned with his head coach.
Yeah.
He was drafted at the same time that the coach was hired. Caleb didn't have it. Cam Ward didn't have it. So many guys don't have it because they get drafted to a team that was bad, but the organization doesn't fire the coach, so he gets drafted to a team with a coach on the hot seat, and then he has to change. It's like Fernando Mendoza and Clint Kubiak just get to grow together. So I'm with you. I would play him, and I think he'll look good again in the preseason. All right, Broncos and Packers, next preseason game we're going to talk about because Jordan Love and Bo Nix both expected to play. Love coming off that early playoff exit. Who was that to? Who was it to?
Oh, Bears.
It was the Bears. Yeah, it was the Bears.
Forgot the Bears made the postseason.
Just in case anybody forgot. I don't know. I just thought people forgot. Bo Nix, of course, game short of the Super Bowl with the unfortunate timing of his injury. Jeff, you got more faith this year in Jordan Love or Bo Nix?
I guess the question is, what are the expectations? I mean, I have faith in Jordan Love being what he's been throughout his career, right? He's going to be the same guy. I don't really see Jordan Love, whatever the next step is, I don't know what that would even be. But
I think people started. I think if he put together a consistent season at his high level, he would be like a guy who's in the MVP conversation, which he never has been.
Sure, I could buy that. I don't believe that's the next step. I think Jordan Love is sort of what he is at this moment. Bo Nix, I think for me would be more consistency, right? Just more taking shots down the field, maybe opening up the offense a little bit more than Sean Payton has for him. So I trust Jordan Love to be the guy that we expect him to be. I'm not sure Bo Nix is gonna, Greg, sort of take that next step for his career. But the Packers to me, they just are what they are. Like I don't really.
What do you think they are?
Like I don't really expect more or less from them. Like they're like a 10-win team. They're not a Super Bowl team. They're not going to miss the playoffs, in my opinion. They just sort of like are what they are. They don't really scare me very much, but they win a ton of football games. And that's what I expect from Jordan Love this year. I expect that from the Packers this year. They're going to be a 10-win team. They're not going to win a Super Bowl. They're not going to miss the playoffs. They play good, sound football. So I expect Jordan Love to be him. Bo Nix, I'm not sure he's going to get much better.
So I'm going to answer the question first, and I'm going to touch on that. I have more faith in Jordan Love because he has more talent, he has more ability, and he just needs to get it done.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, Bo Nix, I think they did a great job of getting him some additional weapons with Waddle, with Evan Ingram at tight end. I think he'll be better. That's the hope. That's why you start to put some pieces around him. He's had a decent offensive line, obviously the running game, and then the defense has been the calling card over there in Denver. Whereas Jordan Love, it's been about him. And he has a guy now in his division in Caleb Williams, and I'm going to mention it, that is, I'm going up with a bullet. And if you're a Packer fan, you want to see Jordan Love start to go up and you don't want to see a plateau, because you now see another guy coming in your division that can give you some real problems and headaches. And you have a guy that you truly believe he can give others problems and headaches. He just has to do it on a consistent basis. They have a young, talented group on offense. Matthew Golden, if he gets unlocked, he's going to be a problem. Jordan Love has to be better.
So it's a clean sweep here. I just think Jordan Love's a better player than Bo Nix. Bo Nix is in a great situation. I also think that the pressure that's on Jordan Love is he has to be great out of the chute because Micah is hurt. And like the Packers have some offensive line questions, and they don't have a great defense. But with Micah Parsons, he erased a lot of the issues that they had. I was shocked they used that first-round pick on Matthew Golden. I thought they were going to keep firing either at offensive line or at defense, because I thought they had a lot of receivers. Now, they obviously decided to let Dontavian Wicks go. They let Romeo Doubs go. So they had a different vision in mind. But it's like, all right, that's a lot of investment that they've made in weapons around Jordan Love with Christian Watson and with Matthew Golden and with Tucker Kraft and with Josh Jacobs. Obviously, a lot of continuity on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know why, if you're a Packer fan, you wouldn't expect them to be a top 10, maybe top 5 offense this year. Like, he's had 9-game stretches of seasons where it's like, did Jordan Love just have 20 touchdowns against 1 interception in 9 games? Like, he's done that before in his career. So I think his ceiling is actually very, very high. They just need to put it together right out of the chute, because Micah Parsons is going to miss a third of the season.
Yeah, you make a good point with starting the season off hot. I think more than anything, Matt LaFleur has to allow Jordan Love to do more. And I say this because you get the sense that when you watch, I'm going off that last playoff game, you don't get up against the Bears on the road and then kind of settle or throttle it back. You have a quarterback that you can give the keys to, and he can drive the car wherever you want it to go. You don't take the keys back from him, ever. You don't put him in the passenger seat, and I feel like that's what has happened sometimes. You got to let your quarterback go. If he's going to make mistakes, he's going to make mistakes, and let him grow from those mistakes on his own.
It's wild, too, because I have talked about it, like, how that game ended was a bad Jordan Love mistake, like the last time he had the ball. But then you look at, like, his interception rate is excellent. Yeah. Like, Jordan Love doesn't turn the ball over.
He doesn't.
But his turnovers are awful.
They are.
When
he does,
when he does, they are real bad. You don't seem to be very high on Jordan Love.
I'm just not high on the Packers. I think that, like, I think about game records on a team, right? Like, if you look at the best teams in the NFL, you could list like the game records, like guys like, this guy, we got to stop this guy. I don't think they have a big list I really don't think they have a big list compared to other contenders in the NFL. And that's what concerns me. And you mentioned something that's important. So you want to see them unlock Jordan Love offensively. Does he trust him to do it? That's the question. Does he trust him to do more offensively? If you don't, then you're just going to be this team every year that sort of just is what they are every season with Jordan Love. I hope he does more. Interceptions, to me, you can throw some interceptions. It's okay. That's a sign to me you're not pushing the ball down the field and trying to make some plays every now and then.
Let's go to the Chargers here, who obviously had the injury news. Tyler Biadasz out indefinitely with the ACL injury. Chargers are hosting the Niners tomorrow. Yesterday, we talked a little bit about checking the box, Geoff, or a red flag. So do you need to see an opening drive? This is the debut.
They better do it.
Of Mike McDaniel and Justin Herbert. Do you need an opening drive touchdown?
I don't. I just want to see the process work, right? I want to see what it looks like offensively. Is it clean? Do you have, obviously, the cadence correct? Do you have the motions correct? Like, if they're not scripting an opening drive, I don't really care if they score or not. I just want to see it look like it should. And that's the check marker. Oh, it looks like it should. He's going to play one series, I would imagine. Probably most starters are playing. And just does it look like it should? A touchdown, someone might fumble. It might be tip pass interception. Might miss a field goal. I don't know. But just doesn't look like it should.
Yeah, no, you don't need to. I don't need to see an opening drive. But if there was ever a time that, and you never want guys to get hurt. If there is a time that you would prefer guys to get hurt, it is early, when you have a chance to adjust and then move forward. And so, with that being said, you got a young center starting. You want the operation to be on time. You want the snaps to look good. You want everything that you normally would get with Biadasz out there.
Yeah.
You want it to still look the same and or better.
Pretty liberal guy. I am so conservative when it comes to the preseason. I'm just terrified of injury. I'm just like work through the rust in week 1.
More guys have gotten hurt in training camp than in the preseason games.
Okay.
The last 3 days and joint practices in the preseason games.
Well, then don't do that either.
I'm
just
pro,
bubble wrap, don't tackle, come out in week 1, and if you're a little rusty, be healthy, man. Honestly, they are very talented. They have a very high ceiling.
He'll get a drive, probably at the most. If it doesn't go well, he'll get a second drive.
I just don't need to see anything from Justin Herbert. I know he's good.
I think with the new center,
I know he's good.
The new center, you got to work on that operation in the game.
You want to see that operation.
I mean, listen, I guess you guys played, so you probably know better than me. I guess I'll concede that. I have zero career
But you are right,
though. But it's just the only news that ever comes out of this stuff that matters is bad. The only news that comes out of it is bad.
You are right.
There's never any good news that they say, oh, wow, he had a touchdown in the preseason. Means absolutely nothing.
No one cares.
Oh, wow, that guy ruptured his Achilles in the preseason.
Sure.
That seems to matter a great deal. We did the Joe Burrow, oh, man, he was 5 of 6 passing, but he got sacked and he got hit another time and they didn't score. Is that a bad sign? I'm like, did he survive the game? Then it's fine. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
Do you come out of preseason healthy? It's the only thing that matters.
And does it look like it should?
But how many times have you seen? Remember, Peyton Manning used to be winless in the preseason and then go out in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but he did his job in the first drive of the game.
I'm just saying. I don't see much correlation. Just be healthy. I hope Caleb takes 0 career preseason snaps. That's what I'm.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.